Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together, we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So, if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Eric Dingler. Eric has spent 4 years traveling the globe with his wife and 4 teens while running a business. He discovered that true freedom isn't just a remote setup. It's about having a team that has your back. Eric now helps entrepreneurs build teams that create momentum and breathing room. Eric, welcome to Goalbusters.
Oh, Robin, thank you. I have been looking forward to this ever since we scheduled it.
Oh, that's very kind. We only scheduled it 10 minutes ago. Oh, I'm joking. That's very kind of you to say. Whereabouts in the world are you, Eric?
Currently, we're in Virginia Beach in the United States.
Fantastic. And I know you did tell me beforehand that you are looking to bring the clan to here, to dear old Blighty one day. So we'll lay out the red carpet for that day when it arrives and hope that that goes smoothly for you. But I'm waffling on. I should do the questions. Should we do the questions instead?
Let's do it. I'm ready to go.
So we'll get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. Eric, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
The people that we work with right now are those primarily solopreneurs working from home. They have a small business. A lot of them are the technicians of their business. They are selling a thing and making it. May not be physical. A lot of them are digital providers. They build websites, they do copywriting, video editing, whatever it might be. But they are the chief everything officer, the CEO of their own company. So I help them get a little bit of freedom and some clarity by helping them hire without regrets.
Fantastic. In America, you call them chiefs. Over here, we call them general dog's bodies. I know I speak from experience here. So meanwhile, back to the questions. What is the problem or problems that you solve for these people?
A lot of people have mindsets about hiring that aren't serving them well. And I used to take for granted that everybody knew how to hire. I ran a summer camp in the United States for 15 years, and every summer hired a staff, onboarded them, delegated to them, developed them throughout the summer. And then the summer was over. And I got to ask myself what worked, what didn't, reinvent my leadership style, learn, seek out a mentor for different topics. And I just didn't realize that going through that, I was, living through these 15 leadership laboratories. And so I started recommending people just hire help. And I heard all kinds of things that they sound logical, but that doesn't mean they're true. It's faster to do it myself. I can't afford to hire. Nobody will do it as good as I can. And these are all myths of hiring. So I help people wrestle through those mindsets and come out on the other side of totally equipped and ready to hire people, great people, without any regrets or feeling overwhelmed. And so that's what we do.
Fantastic. I completely agree with everything you said there, though of course no one can do it as well as I can, just saying. All right, so what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to go at least some way towards solving these problems for themselves?
Sure. So a lot of people will talk about doing a time audit. And they're great. I've done multiple time audits. I used to run an app on my computer called Timing that literally tracked every second of everything I was doing on my computer and helped me drop it into buckets. And so I could see exactly how much time I was spending on every client project, on administration, just surfing the net, wasting time. And so I really want people to still do time audits, but now I encourage people to look for this one specific thing. Do a time audit with the goal to identify 10 hours of repeating work that you're doing that somebody else could do. And the reason I do that is for people that aren't used to hiring, aren't comfortable hiring your first person for 10 hours or so a week is a great place to start. My first employee in my digital business was 2 hours a week. So I would say do a time audit and not just sit down, write a list of everything you did this week and last week and figure out what makeup of those things is about 10 hours. And you'll realize through that, you'll start to have your very first job description start to take shape.
Yeah, excellent. Brilliant advice. Nothing to add to that because that was perfect. So now that we have a better understanding of what you do, well, a little bit better understanding. I've only given you 3 minutes after all. Let's dive briefly into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. You've just given us a very powerful tip already, but I'm greedy. And it's the question, could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits over and above the excellent one you've already given us? Thank you.
Yeah, obviously, for me, the greatest thing that's helped me improve my productivity is hiring really great help. My executive assistant, an EA, if you will, Emily. You got to work with Emily through this process. Emily really helps me stay focused by keeping things off of my radar that distract me easily. I get very distracted by email, for example. And so she just, I don't log in the email anymore. Emily does all of that for me. But the other thing I would say is, if you want to get healthy, you're going to set up a plan that you're going to eat less of some kinds of food. And every day you're going to get up and put your trainers on, your tennis shoes, and you're going to go out for a walk or a run. And you can set those trainers by the door so you have a visual reminder. I mean, there's all kinds of ways about building habits like that. But leadership habits and productivity habits, I have found, are a little harder because there's not always that really obvious trigger. And so I keep a list of 3. It's my big 3. And I look at it every day. And these are 3 leadership habits or productivity mindsets, work mindsets that I'm trying to develop myself better in. And what I do is I look at those every morning and I ask myself, when did I have a chance to do this yesterday where I did it? And where are chances I had yesterday I didn't do it? What could I have done to remember in those situations? Now, what opportunities do I have today to implement these things? So being intentional of having a list of 1 or 2, 3, maybe 3 things you're working on, but then every day debriefing the last 24 hours and then planning ahead for the next 24 has helped me really develop those kinds of, soft skill habits, if you will.
Fantastic. And in the little bit of time we've got left, well, we can add a few seconds to that. What should I have asked you today that I didn't? And your answer, please. And don't worry about the clock.
How do I help my team, or how does somebody help their team develop these productivity habits?
Fantastic. And your brief answer?
I ask my team every Monday. I send everybody that I'm leading on my team a question on Monday, and it's, what are you working on this week that is not related to a specific task or project? And so my team knows that I want them to be working on something, and I help them identify that. And then I just ask them every week. And then on Friday, I ask them how it went. So just people just sometimes need that soft question, that encouragement, and that accountability. And that's the easiest way to do it that I have found.
Yes. And that very pertinent reminder, stay focused on the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with you. Fantastic. Listen, we overran a little bit. I'm not worried about that because you give so much value. You have so much to say there. I would even go so far as to say that it's worth people rewinding and watching and listening again to pick up, because there was so much information you packed in there. Very sage and sound advice, Eric. So thank you so much for sharing with us today. But at this point, I always ask one more question, which is a two-parter. The first part is, how can people reach you if they would like to find out more about you and your services? And the second part, is there like a valuable free resource they can obtain from you? Because although being British, and I say that sounds rather cheeky, the reality is that's usually a very powerful way of finding out a lot more about what you do and the value that you can bring to the table. And then they'll get in touch because they go, oh, well, it's a no-brainer now. It's obvious I need Eric's services.
Well, I want to make it as easy as I can for people. So I've put both of those things in the same exact place. And because I'm maybe prideful or egotistical, I don't know, my website is just my name. So ericdingler.com. And if they go specifically ericdingler.com/first hire, they can download the first hire readiness checklist. And then also on that page, they can find a link to click over to my LinkedIn and connect with me on LinkedIn. But to start with, ericdingler.com/first hire.
Perfect. And a great example of streamlining and keeping things nice and simple. I completely agree with you. And that's absolutely the best way to do it in my book, and certainly obviously in yours. Eric Dingler, it's been a masterclass today and an absolute delight and a pleasure to meet you. I'm really looking forward to you coming over to England. You'll be hundreds of miles away from me, but I think we've got a carpet that will stretch long enough from where I live. It'll be fine. Eric Dingler, thank you so much for appearing on Goalbusters today.
Sounds great. Thanks, Robin.
You're extremely welcome. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.